Good afternoon, Trista Gomez. I read a little bit of this Raftelli memo, and when he talked about the disconnect and the mistrust, I would say not only does the county personnel feel that between the board or the board with the personnel, but it also, it definitely trickles down to the residents. And when I got involved, it was because I felt that as a community member. As a community member, I could tell that things didn't feel good. They didn't feel right. You'd hear little rumors. You'd hear little things. And you started to see the lack of infrastructure, and you started to see the mismanagement of the funds, and you started to see these programming increases, and you wondered where the increased revenue was going to come from. And you could feel that as a citizen. And obviously, I've been coming here for about a year and a half now. And as people have tried to address it, we feel like we come up here and we talk, and there's not really a lot of response. We get some response from Mr. Clark. We get some response from Ms. Herman, and we appreciate that. And and there are some times when I've heard Ms. Hill say a couple things good, and I've heard Ms. Andriola say a couple things that are good, and we can appreciate some of those things. But ultimately, the votes have caused a quality of life that it's a lower quality of life in Washoe County. And so I'm interested, I keep hearing Ms. Hill talk about her board and her board and her board and her board. And that phrase comes up over and over again, her board. And my question, and I hope it's addressed in this presentation, is something that I said while I was campaigning, was what if Mr. Brown had all of these issues, and they were pretty apparent to anybody, I think, how did he get the bonus? How did he get the raise? How did he get those exemplary reviews? How did that happen? These are questions that we wonder, and we wonder on a whole, how did his salary get raised? How was it not known by the board that these increases in revenue would also cause an increase, that they would cause a budget mishap, that they would cause a budget issue that we're now dealing with? These are things that I feel like anybody would know. Any household member, any small business owner, anybody would know. Yet they kept happening until the fact, and I think it was Ms. Andriola that asked for this study, or that's what I heard, and I so appreciate that, I really do. And I would like to see those items addressed, and I hope they do. I'll be back at the end.